Comedy Simp, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist.
Yeah, sure.
Spitting fire on the mic.
I'm never worried too much about noise, but all right. Hey, man, we're here.
What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Comedy Simp podcast. We are back. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is me, Stephen Michael James, here with Xavier Rake.
What's up, dude?
Xavier, man. Whoa, there's some crazy guy walking right in front of us. Where can people find you online?
They can find me at The Joke Dealer on Instagram. The last E is a 3. They can find me on Facebook at XavierRake.com. They can also find me on YouTube at Joke Dealer as well. Or just Google Xavier Rake, and you'll find a lot of interesting results.
So here we are, man. It's hot summer. It is the middle of Porch Fest in Tacoma.
Hell yeah.
Let's start this thing off, man. How was the 4th of July for you?
4th of July was sick, dude.
So-
I went kayaking.
Kayaking. Now, you're Vietnamese,
Yep.
grew up here in America.
Yep.
What has the 4th of July been for you, traditionally growing up? Has it been kind of an American thing like most of us had? Or
Yeah. I grew up 100% white.
Yeah.
Like I had no connection to the Vietnamese
Culture, really?
at all. Yeah. I have no connection. I didn't even find out that I was half Vietnamese until I was probably 25 or 26.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like 25 and me people. Or 26, yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, yeah. And I mean, it had been, people have been, I was racially ambiguous.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were
I love that term. I've been using that term for a long time because I knew this guy. I used to work with this guy named Eric, and I didn't know if he was Mexican or Italian or something else because his name was Eric with a Q. And then his last name was Felix. So I was like, sounds Spanish, but then he just racially ambiguous. So
Eric with a Q?
Yeah.
I've never
yeah, I
encountered
know,
that
right? Yeah, he
in my
used
life.
to call me player. He was so weird, man. Like he was this guy. He was about 10 years older than me. He was one of those guys that pretty much peaked in high school, and then 10 years later, he was probably macking on the high school girls still. And by the time he started working with me, he was probably almost 40, and little tiny job. But he had this weird voice, and he would call you a player. Even if you had a girl, he'd be like, "Hey, player," and it's like, I'm like, "Whoa, man! I got a girlfriend." He's like, "It's okay, player. You're just a player. I was your age. I was a player," and he just always called player. And then he would always say this weird random stuff, and sometimes you'd be like, "What did he just say?" He'd be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and knock one out." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Are you going to the bathroom or knock one out? I mean, that can mean a lot of different things. And he's like, ambiguous player,
So he would announce that he was going to masturbate in the bathroom?
I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, that's what it sounded like. But I don't know if he was joking.
It's very considerate. It's considerate.
Yeah, or if it was his idea of a joke, or if he was actually doing it. But back to the 4th of July, man. So did you grow up here in Washington?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I grew up partly in Vegas, and I grew up.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about this. Yeah. So.
Yeah, partly in Vegas and partly in Pennsylvania, and in my family we did it big. It was one of those celebrations where if someone didn't blow off a couple fingers, it was a mild event.
Well, tell me the kind of fireworks that you had, because all my life in California, we've been very strict on what allowed fireworks were allowed to have.
Oh, really?
We weren't allowed to have Roman candles.
Really?
We weren't allowed to have anything that shot up in the air. We wouldn't have the helicopters that would spin around. In fact, there was a time where I was with my dad. He used to be a truck driver. Went with him for the summer. And we went up to like Idaho, Nevada, and all that. And then Washington State, actually, we found a year-round fireworks stand that was open all, anytime. And I believe it was probably in the eastern Washington area, like that whole, like Spokane or something. But we brought home all the cool fireworks, and we were the coolest people on the block. But I'm in Vegas. You could probably have everything because you could have a machine gun in Vegas.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, in Vegas you could drive right outside the city limits and pretty much buy whatever you want, and it was sick, man. We'd have quarter sticks of dynamite,
Dude.
M80s, mortars. I mean, we were going. I mean, shit was flying 50 feet in the air, exploding.
How long were you there?
In Vegas?
Yeah.
Probably. I was there from. I was there early childhood, and then I moved to Pennsylvania from probably, I want to say I was there 12 to like 17 or 12 to like 19, and then in my early 20s I moved back to Vegas.
Wow. Oh, wow. And did it how did it feel to you when you went back? Was it different? Was it the same? You just felt like I could finally do the things I want to do, or was it just a different place when you came back?
It's funny because like a lot of people will go to Vegas to like party, and it's in the sense that it's kind of it's socially acceptable. It's kind of like a college party.
Yeah, you could drink on the street. You know, it's like there's legal prostitution. All sorts of. There's swingers clubs. It's an adult playground.
It's definitely Sin City for sure.
Yeah.
But I went there to calm down because I was getting into.
So you were in Pennsylvania, right?
I was in Pennsylvania.
So Pennsylvania, I've never been there. I know a lot of people from there. I know a lot of great comics from there, and I kind of know the geography. So, am I right in assuming like the west side is more like Pittsburgh area, the east side is Philly, and then in the middle you have kind of like your more rural type?
Yeah, it's called Pennsyltucky.
Yeah, Pennsyltucky, huh?
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's Pittsburgh, which reminds me a lot of Seattle. It's a college centered town. There's a lot
of punk bands came out of Pittsburgh. It's very
the indie scene,
liberal.
Yeah, the indie scene in Pennsylvania across the board.
Pro wrestling too. Ironically, a lot of pro wrestling comes out of Pittsburgh.
There's some like towns in Washington that are indistinguishable from towns in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah, just the culture.
Yeah.
Lots of gauges, a lot of, you know what I mean? A lot of piercings, a lot of indie bands. And I was in Pennsylvania at that time. It was in the heart of the opioid epidemic.
So, but where were you as far as regionally? Like,
I was in NEPA, so northeastern Pennsylvania. The biggest landmark would be Scranton from the
Scranton. Okay,
from The Office.
That reminds me. No, so The Office. This is gonna hurt a lot of people. I've only seen a few episodes of The Office. Like I know it's a great show, and like anytime I caught it on TV, I would laugh, and it was just like I just never got into it, and then. When my kid was born, I started watching it, and I watched like the first season, and I just never got back into it. But when you say Scranton, I immediately think of this movie Half Baked. Remember the movie Half Baked?
Yeah, I forgot it's in that movie.
Well, no, I don't know if it's in the movie, but I just know that Dave Chappelle plays a rapper in that movie named Sir Smoke a Lot. And in his song, he's like, fly me to the moon like that bitch out of Scranton. And I just always remembered that as a little kid. And I don't know. I just imagine that Scranton is probably not that cool of a place.
No. Yeah, it's like
it's just name only,
It really. There was a Scranton rap that was super popular in the beginning days of YouTube, and it was a Scranton rap, and it was based off of The Office. And yeah, back then the humor, it was such a dry humor. And it depends on who you talk to about like how well it aged, because a lot of people find that show boring now.
Well, I mean, that show has got a sequel coming out with our buddy Nate Jackson.
No way.
Absolutely. It's called The Paper, coming like soon on Peacock.
No way.
Yeah, dude, it's Nate Jackson from this area is a cast member on The Paper, the reboot of The Office.
That is fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah,
that is nuts.
I had no idea he was an actor, but apparently he also was on The Young Rock.
Yeah,
the TV show.
I heard of that.
Yeah.
I saw he was on an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check that out. Yeah.
Yeah,
But anyways, back to the 4th of July. So 4th of July's in Vegas versus Pennsylvania. Were they similar, or was Vegas just a different ball game there?
Yeah, well, yeah, they were similar just because.
Because I feel like Pennsylvania probably has a lot of. I mean, imagine they're pretty open-minded with their fireworks as well.
Yeah. No, they're more like if it's illegal, kind of prove that I'm doing it, and it's and everything's so spread out. You have all these all these people with private property, and it's one of those things where get off my motherfucking property.
Yeah.
And they're very anti. But yeah, it was very similar just because my family were just absolute savages. You know what I mean? In Pennsylvania, we were blowing shit up. In Las Vegas, we were blowing shit up. I mean, one year we had Roman candles. We used to shoot Roman candles at each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did do a little bit of that, even though they weren't legal. I did sneak some down from Washington just to participate in that old pastime there.
I know, right? That's like a rite of passage almost. Like, were your parents toxic enough to allow you to shoot fireworks at each other? Because if not, then you did not grow up in the 90s.
Did you ever do anything with? Did you ever accidentally cause a fire or have any close calls with fireworks? Do you remember anything like that?
I just remember a couple incidents with I remember one time the mortar, I don't even know what it's called, but
the mortars, they're the things that you put in the cardboard tube
and then shoot it out. Yeah. I remember one falling over.
Dude, that happened to my dad too.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember one where my aunt actually went to grab. It was a kid that had them for some reason, and it was like the wrong fireworks, and they didn't know that they were like the more dangerous ones. And then they started lighting them, and it was like about to hit her, and then my aunt grabbed it, and then it was exploded in her hand. And then her hands were. And then I remember another time we were with the Roman candles. We were shooting each other, and my uncle he lit one up, and it blew up right in his hand. Instead of shooting out, it blew up right in his hand as if it was like a M80, right in front of him. And I remember a couple of incidents like that. But I don't know if there was. I mean, there were fires, but nothing.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah, no structural.
Nobody
fires.
burned down. Yeah, I can remember a couple times when I was a kid. So this time period between like 12 and 14, I was very unsupervised. My mom had work. I just pretty much stuck at home. But so we had fireworks and stuff like that. And I don't know, somehow I did get firecrackers, little firecrackers.
Gotcha.
And I was lighting them and throwing them. And I did have one blow up in my hand once. But luckily, I can tell you people, a firecracker isn't going to blow your hand up. It just hurts. It hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it, but it's not going to hurt you. What happened is I was throwing them so I used to live in this. Dude, I lived in these weird places growing up. My mom tried her best, but we moved from place to place, and we ended up getting an eviction because she didn't pay rent one time. And so when you get an eviction, it stays on your credit for 7 years. So it's very hard to rent when you have an eviction. So we ended up renting this place that used to be, I guess what it was called was like an ambulance house. So before, I guess back in the day, before hospitals were really big, they had to have ambulances off-site. And so this place, it was this house that we lived in was actually where there was they had 2 garages. Each garage had a mechanic's pit, so they could work on cars and stuff like that. And then on the inside of the house, it was there was 1 bedroom, a giant living room, tiny little windows. There was lockers built into the hallway.
What the hell?
Super dark. It was just not. It was definitely not a space that should have been livable for people up to code.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
An ambulance house?
Yeah. This is in California.
That's crazy.
The city of Woodland outside of Sacramento was founded in the 1800s, so they had some older houses.
Gotcha.
It's kind of similar to. There's some cities around here, like Auburn's got some old stuff I've seen, and Tacoma's definitely got some older, so I'd say similar. But yeah, so I would run around. We lived, the place was in an alley too. So like you couldn't even get to it from the main street. Like if all of our deliveries, they would have to go down the alleyway. Our mail would be delivered at a mailbox somewhere. So I'd be walking down this alley, and that's where I'd be throwing my firecrackers. And I know one time I lit, I just played with fire a little bit, man. Like I wanted to see what rubbing alcohol caught on fire looked like. So I did that. And,
Hell yeah.
but one time I had these things, they were called ground blooms, TNT ground blooms. So they're these little, they look almost like an M80. They're pink, kind of like the Comedy Simp pink here. They're like little tubes. And when you light them, you put them on the ground and they just spin around like crazy. And they change color and they just move around. And this one in particular went into some dry grass right up against the fence in the alley. And I saw the fire start instantly. And I was like, oh shit. And I just ran. I think I got like a pitcher from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even have a hose or something. I just got like a pitcher that we would make Kool-Aid in and just filled it with water. And I saved that. And then the only other thing that stands out, because like you already said, like the mortar's falling over. I mean, that's happened with my dad a couple times. But I remember this one time there were these fireworks called Piccolo Pete's.
I think I remember
The thing
those.
about Piccolo Pete's is they whistle. They're like really, really loud. They're these little skinny tubes. They sit on a plastic stand. You light them. They do a little tiny flame, but then they whistle like this high-pitched, just.
Yeah.
And I don't know where this information even came from. You know, when we were kids, you know, the internet was around, but it was like we got information. I don't know how this information got to us. You know, it's like this. We just random things would come up. Like, oh, like I just heard about like before the internet, everyone thought Marilyn Manson took a rib out to suck his own dick. Like
Yeah, I remember that one.
That was a rumor, you know.
Yeah.
And then there was another rumor like I don't know, like Mr. Rogers was a sniper, you know, back in the day. You know, that was another like a rumor. So there was this thing, and I don't know how the information got out, but if you broke the middle of a Piccolo Pete, it would explode after the whistle.
Oh.
So you would either take a little hammer and just tap on it a little bit, or you would get like some pliers and squeeze it. And this one time I did that, you know, because I was like, I'm gonna make this thing explode. And dude, this thing, as soon as it whistled, it just took off. It came off of the base. It flew up in the air. It did like a 360 and went straight into the top of somebody's house like a missile. And I was just like, I was like, and this was during the day too. So I was flipping out, and luckily no damage was had. And I did not smash any more Piccolo Pete's after that, but that's a long way of saying, how was your 4th of July this year? What did you do?
Yeah, right. I didn't blow anything up. I just went kayaking. Do you remember, did you ever make Drano bombs?
No, I never heard of that. What's a Drano bomb? Huh?
So we used to mix Drano with aluminum foil, and it used to make bombs, kind of like
Whoa.
it was like
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it was like it would blow up, and it would like, you know, remember when they used to use the Pepsi or what was it, the Diet Pepsi and the Menthol?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This was like the more hardcore version of it, because that's what we did.
Wow.
And it would blow that shit up. We used to do dumb shit. Like we would be on some embankment somewhere, tripping on salvia, throwing axe cans in the fire, and watching them explode with different. Yeah, it was a bad time. But Drano bombs, I don't think there's that. Yeah, I don't. think
I never heard of a Drano bomb. That's an interesting mix there. You know.
Yeah.
We did dry ice. I used to work with dry ice, so we would take like a 20-ounce soda bottle, fill it with ice, and then you tighten the cap on it. Immediately, you feel the bottle starting to get tight.
Oh, shit.
And then you just throw it, and you just wait. You know, we would throw it in a dumpster, and then like you wait like 2-3 minutes, and then just a loud explosion, and nobody got hurt. But yeah, I remember one time. So I would be pretty. I don't know, liberal about like just a little bit of dry ice. You know, I didn't want it to just, you know. I wanted some time to run away from it, you know.
Yeah.
And one guy I worked with, this guy was, again, another guy who's 10 years older than me, you know, like the mature one.
Yeah.
He filled that thing to the top, and he tightened it up and like threw it in the dumpster. And then we're just waiting for it, and it's taking forever. It's like 5 minutes and stuff like that. And we're just, man, I think it's a dud. And then like So I'm standing and like, imagine I'm in the doorway looking outside and he's in the doorway looking back at me. So he can't see the outside, what's behind him. And then all of a sudden an explosion happens. He jumps, like shits his pants basically. And then I just see this giant cloud of like carbon dioxide just evaporate. And I was like, whoa, yeah. I was like, ooh, that could, shouldn't be doing this at work.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think people realize, like, I don't think we talk about it, or people don't talk about it enough, but like when I was a kid, bro, I was blowing shit up regularly.
Yeah.
Like at least once a week or once every couple weeks.
It was like Sid from Toy Story, remember?
Yeah.
Let's play.
Yeah, we were
I tried to do that too. Like I tried to do the firecrackers with Army
the toys?
Men, and it just, they're not powerful enough. You need M80s, and we didn't have that in California, luckily. But yeah, I just saw a video of some rapper. He was holding something, and then literally the next slide at the end of the video is a picture of him, and half his hand is missing.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah, you probably saw that too. Yeah, I was like,
saw
dude,
that.
that is, whoo, the internet is so graphic these days. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because everything is, if it's not recorded, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know.
So where'd you go kayaking?
I went kayaking down in Nisqually. I was in Yelm. I went through Yelm, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was. It's been a while since I kayaked. There was some whitewater rapids, and I did capsize once.
Ooh, yeah. No, it is scary. It's happened to me once or twice. Yeah. I mean, most of the time when that happened, I was like on a raft with other people. Yeah. You know, the only time I've done kayaking is like on kind of more mellow water, but. Yeah, man, that could be scary. I would imagine.
It was scary, but I mean, it was also really fun because I flipped right over. Luckily, I didn't hit my head on any rocks, and I was going down rapids, and the kayak was upside down, and I had the oar in one hand, and I was like I grabbed it by the rope on the back, and then I was like, I was about to go down some even crazier rapids, so I was like, the best I can do is I got to jump on this thing. Yeah. So I jumped on it, and I'm slipping because it's upside down all over the place, and like my dry pack is flow in, and my buddy ended up getting my dry pack. The same exact thing happened to him further down the river too. Damn. And I ended up having to save his dry pack, and it was just a fun adventure, and it was quite the trip.
Yeah, you know,
it was crazy.
I wouldn't consider myself the most outdoor person. I used to do a lot of outdoor stuff when I was younger, but there's just something about like when you're in that situation and you're just like swimming against that current, it's actually like kind of thrilling a little bit. Like you kind of remember, like at the time it's like, this sucks. But then when you look back on it, you're like, that was actually kind of cool. It's like, you're fighting against nature, and you don't know what's going, nobody's watching you right now. So all these people are at home on their TVs, on their phones, on their Ozempics, and you're out there. One time I went rafting with my dad, and he took me with some church, and like, I never went to church, but it was like a free camping trip. So I went, and they had inner tubes, and we went tubing. Same thing happened to me. I fell through a tube and had to like swim to catch it up. And luckily it was probably not as intense as yours because I was like 12 or something. But yeah, man, just fighting against the river.
Yeah, fighting against the river can make you feel hopeless. Yeah, but it is refreshing. There was like this group of most of them, I don't know if any of them, it was a group of people that were out because there's a bunch of houses down the river too. Yeah. And it was very far away, but it looked like a bunch of hot biddies. Ooh. Yeah. And just luckily right after I recovered, I'm back on the raft. I'm getting my bearings, and I look up, and it's all these girls in sunglasses staring at me. And I'm like, I hope they didn't just see me just almost die. And I'm trying to act all cool, and they're like waving and stuff, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I hope they didn't just see me just fucking fly down these rapids upside down, basically.
And they're like, isn't that comedian?
I know, right? I think that's happened to me. That happened to me a couple of times.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it never happens to me because I'm so far away. way, but yeah, I would imagine living in Tacoma and doing comedy in Tacoma, you're bound to run into somebody.
You
I would
are, yeah,
imagine,
you are, especially because I do a lot of repair. I have my business here too that people will know, and it was up by the spot in Ruston actually at what was it?
Pearl, is it on the?
Yeah, I was on Pearl, but it was the bar across from North End on Pearl. I forgot what it was called. I can't believe Coles. There were some people out on the patio on Coles, and I was walking down to the waterfront, and people were yelling, "Oh shit, he's a comedian! He's a comedian!" I was like, "Oh fuck!" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm a comedian. What's up?"
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm flexing.
That's always nice. You know, it's there are times I still don't feel like a real comic, and then there's times that I do. You know, so
yeah.
My 4th wasn't that fun, man. My kid was sick the whole time.
Really?
She got sick like the day before, and like we couldn't figure out what was going on with her. And this kid, man, she weighs less than 40 pounds. You know, she's 7. She's a real skinny little girl, and she didn't eat for like 4 days.
Oh, wow.
And finally, we took her to urgent care, and they checked her out, and they're like, we don't know. We'll do tests and stuff like that. And they swabbed her throat, and then came back and turned out that she had strep throat.
Oh, wow.
Of course, you know, we drove almost all the way home, like 45 minutes, and then they call us, and they're like, she's got strep throat. You know, she's going to have to get some antibiotics. My kid doesn't like to take pills. She doesn't like to even eat things that she doesn't want to eat, so she would rather take a shot. You know, the 7-year-old girl would rather take a needle than swallow a pill. So,
dang, that's interesting.
So we drove all the way back, and we got her a antibiotic shot, and then she was feeling all right a little bit. But by the time the 4th came around, you know, we didn't buy any fireworks, and also, you know, up until this year, I had a dog for the past like 11 years, and I always had like love-hate relationship with the holiday because I love having the day off. I love drinking, but also my dog hates the fireworks, and then, you know, doesn't want to go pee, and then at 3 a.m. she pees on the floor, you know, that whole kind of thing.
Yeah, so, I remember last time you were here, last time we were recording, you had your dog was sick, right? And
yeah. No, she's gone now. Yeah, I had to put her down.
That's unfortunate.
The end of March. Yeah, it's. You know, it was a lot harder than I imagined it being, but you know, I feel all right now. You know, it's.
Well, how long did you have your 11 years? You said.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's a long time.
Yeah,
man.
she was a puppy, English bulldog. You know, my wife bought her. Never bought a dog before. Never even had a dog as a puppy, and this dog caused so much problems throughout my whole life. You know, she had medical problems, surgeries, special diet. She peed on the floor, shit on the floor, never listened, but she was still a pretty good dog. And it was definitely tough. But so I feel like this year, the 4th was kind of a weird holiday for me this year. And then also I just feel like it seems like, and not to get too political, but it just seems like a lot of people aren't finding reasons to celebrate a lot these days with our country, you know? Yeah. And then I always find it weird, too, that it's like, okay, we're going to put all these tariffs on these things that come from China, but where do most of the fireworks come from?
Yeah, no,
what the hell, man? You're ruining America. You know, but
yeah.
Regardless, you know.
If they wanted to attack America.
Yeah.
4th of July is the perfect time.
Yeah, I know. You wouldn't even hear. You're like, oh, that was just you just gave him a really good idea.
I know, dude. Yeah. And you could have just packed whatever.
Putin is like, yes, attack next 4th of July.
Yeah, next 4th. Yeah, at the UFC fight. No.
Oh yeah, dude. That's. Who do you think? I mean, maybe Khabib comes out of retirement for that one, you know?
Dude, that would be crazy, bro.
Khabib versus McGregor, you know, one more time.
When we just watch freaking McGregor get dog walked again.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't know. You think he'll ever fight again? Probably not. Huh?
Who, Khabib or McGregor?
Conor. Yeah.
Conor? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever going to fight again. I think...
he's gained so much like weight, man. He's so like huge now.
Yeah. He's got a lot of other things going on, and I don't ever probably see him. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
One, that injury that he came back from, you know, snapping his shin like that.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Brutal. That was brutal.
I mean, I mean, he was at the tail end of his career then.
Yeah.
You know, even if you are, especially a fighter or any kind of athlete, even a younger up and coming athlete, that kind of injury is going to be tough to come back from. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Anderson Silva was never the same.
Yeah.
After his, and it was crazy. Chris Weidman, the same person that happened to. Chris Weidman was the one who checked Anderson Silva's kick and broke his shin. That also happened to him. He broke his shin, and which is so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so nuts to think that and he was never the same after that either. Just
Yeah.
one checked leg kick.
You know, MMA has really showed me how much power the human body actually has.
Yeah.
Like I never knew, like I used to see when I was a kid, they do the demonstrations with the like karate where they break the boards, and I always thought it was like a trick, you know, or they break the bricks and stuff like that. I always thought, you know, it's just a trick.
Yeah.
But man, some of these kicks and stuff I've seen on some of these clips, these MMA clips, oh my God, man. And then like I just saw there's a rematch coming up, or maybe it happened. I don't know. It's Serrano and Nunes. Is that what it was?
Serrano and Nunes.
Amanda Nunes. And,
Well, she's fighting Kayla Harrison.
oh, who is Serrano fighting? I don't know.
Serrano, I'm not sure. Is Serrano a boxer? I think Serrano might be a boxer.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
See,
I
I'm an idiot. I was thinking of the Jake Paul. These two girls, they fought on one of Jake Paul's fights. Anyways, the reason
the
reason I bring it
about.
up is because this girl's face was just destroyed, and like I see that all the time on UFC fights, man. Like when they break their like they
The orbital?
Yeah. Oh God, dude.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
No, it's brutal for sure.
And it just doesn't. It's not like it ever stops. Like it's. No matter how safe and how much they change the rules, it's just, it's a brutal sport. If you had to guess, you know, I don't even know when this UFC thing is gonna happen, but who do you think would be, you know, on this card? You know, because they'd want to have their top stars.
Yeah.
on
You
a
mean
UFC.
so they're trying to do it for next 4th of July,
Yeah.
which is the 250th
Okay, so next year,
anniversary of America.
who's still around now that you could see, you know, maybe being on a card on the White House lawn?
on the white? Dude, that's so crazy, bro.
Yeah.
To think this timeline is happening that way. Dude, yeah, I have so much. It's such a great time to be a comedian, bro, because
Yeah.
there's so much shit. That
I know
you
it is.
Yeah.
It really is. You know, as bad as it is in the world right now, and things that are going on, it's like the best. I mean, Ari Shaffir says the best art comes out of like, you know, the terrible times. You know, like punk rock came out of the '80s, and
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of great movies came out of the '70s, and
I think that there is a very, very high chance that is going to be Jon Jones on that card.
So Jon Jones. Now
Yeah.
this is a guy. As a non UFC aficionado, as an outsider,
Yeah.
I feel like this guy could be one of the, what do you say, one of the greatest of all time? I mean,
yeah.
he's only how many fights has he lost? I mean, you know.
Well, he's never lost a fight.
Yeah.
He did.
There was a decision, right, on one of his fights.
It was against this guy Matt Hamill.
Yeah.
And he lost by disqualification because the rule is actually not even in effect anymore. They might have even overturned it, so
Yeah.
he's technically undefeated, but he was pretty much undefeated anyways because his only loss was because he threw elbows from 12 to 6, which is vertically. And that used to be illegal. And he was on top of this guy, Matt Hamill, and he was freaking hammer.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Which it was very brutal. And side note, that guy was deaf, so he was just sitting there elbowing this deaf guy to death, basically.
Yeah.
And that his only loss because he got disqualified for that. But other than that, he's won every single fight. He's the youngest UFC champion there has ever been. He is for sure.
He has his own style of fighting, you know, right?
He's got his. I mean, everyone who's a high level MMA fighter
Yeah.
does I mean, they create their own style based off of all these different martial arts. He is just a very weird guy in how tall and big he is and how athletic he is. He's insanely athletic for his size, and that's why he can walk through most of the heavyweight division too, because he can bulk up and still be so insanely agile, and that's tough. Yeah, it's tough for him to. But ultimately, I am not a big fan. I will talk about how, you know, his technique is really great. He's one of the hardest people to ever figure out, but there are some questionable fights that a lot of people think he lost. There are some rematches that he should have, you know, that could have potentially been a threat to him. He ducked Francis Ngannou. He ducked Tom Aspinall. He's ducking a lot of people. And, you know, some would say that he doesn't have anything else to prove, and there is a perspective for that to, you know, and there is some truth to that perspective. But there's also, you know, this perspective where this guy is like a terrible human being who is constantly in trouble, who has like this sort of almost evil personality, it seems like. Yeah. You know, where he's like, you know, there's this video of him threatening a police officer, not a police officer, but security. Yeah, he was like it was in New Mexico, and he had just crashed a car, and he was drunk, and he left the car, and then the lady was in there, and she was drunk and like all disoriented, and he called her while the police were pulling up on her, and then she was like, "Here, talk to him," and he was talking to the police, and he was like, "You know, my brothers kill people for less," and you know what I mean. He was doing this whole like villain thing, like he's some villain, and it's like, you know, you just want to see him get beat up one time. Yeah, it's
like Floyd Mayweather, man. I always wanted him to get beat up too, but I've kind of grown soft, or I've changed how I feel, because I knew that he really, I mean, he probably isn't that nice of a guy, but I also know that he definitely played his character up, you know, just Conor McGregor. You know, those guys knew that, like, hey, being a villain, it generates money. But Jon Jones he's just a villain. I mean, that guy, I know that he is one of the few guys that has failed a drug test for cocaine, not performance enhancing drugs, but just he partied too hard the night before and couldn't do his fight. So savage guy.
And a lot of these fighters have mental health problems. Yeah. So they could be really nice people, and then there could be a Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde, whatever the fuck it's called.
Every time you get hit in the head, man, it just comes out a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, dude.
But yeah, so we get prediction: Jon Jones gonna be there.
I think so. I think he would be on the card.
I mean, definitely Joe Rogan's gonna be commentating for sure. Daniel Cormier. You know? But
they might have a special guy. They might have Kid Rock in the mix.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Theo Von, Kid Rock.
How crazy would that be, dude? The White House is finally living up to its name again.
Who are some other guys that are around? You know, I'm gonna just say some names that I've heard on The Fighter and the Kid. Let's see. How about Cowboy Cerrone? Still around?
No, man, he won't be there. Yeah, he's long gone.
Mighty Mouse.
He's long gone.
He's gone
retired.
Too. That's all I got. There's some more names. There's a lot of these Russian guys, these Eastern European guys. Like, I can't even say it. Khabib is like, I can't even say his last name, man. Like, I can only say his first. But like these new guys, these new crowd. Oh, you know who I like? The little skinny guy. Oh, dude, he's been on Kill Tony and God, who is that guy? Is that little He's like a real skinny white guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Is it Sean O'Malley?
Yeah, Sean O'Malley. Yeah, I love him, man. He's great.
You know, Sean was one of those people that kind of grows on you. Yeah. And he's like one of those people where it's like a lot of people were hating on him, and because he was a kid when he started getting a lot of attention. Yeah. And it's like, you got to let people grow sometimes. And
he's like the Justin Bieber of MMA. Come on.
Yeah, you got to let people grow. And for what he does, he's an absolutely amazing striker. He's great at defensive grappling. It's just You know, like I mean, the 135 pounders are just stacked. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Marab, this guy Marab is he's an animal, dude. So but yeah, he's actually really cool dude. It seems like I watch his podcasts and stuff like that, or I'll see some clips of him and I'll be like, he seems like he'd be a pretty chill person in real life, actually. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to say now, I'm going to just say it right now. If this White House thing is going to happen, we're going to plan an event around it right now. We're making the announcement, me and Xavier. I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll have a live show. We're going to watch it live. We'll have comics there. So put it on your calendars. 250th anniversary of
America.
America.
America, bro.
So
Could you, when they were saying 250 years, I was like, it's had to have been longer than that, right?
Yeah.
I was like, we're really tail spinning at only 250. We're less than 300 years old,
yeah,
and we're really tail spinning.
Yeah, 1776
Yeah.
was the official. I mean, we've been here longer, but yeah, I mean, we're still under the rule of the king. So yeah, man, what are we doing here today? We're here at your store. We did some cleaning and stuff like that. I guess you got some big plans, huh?
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming through and and helping me with this. It feels great to get some of this stuff cleaned out and get this place set up. Right here is set number 1. We got a couple different filming locations that we're working out here, and I really felt like a long time I hadn't been utilizing the resources and space that I had. And I mean, you saw all the shit that I had in here. I'm basically like a hoarder. Like there was.
Well, it's a little easy to do. Like when you're working in any sort of repair, because I used to work in garage door repair.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes you find this part that you're like, man, this is a hard to find part, and I don't know where I'm going to be able to find this again, but I might need this. So then you hang on to it because you never know. You think that thing's going to come in again, and then that just happens, you know, time after time. And then eventually you're like, man, I have a lot of Nintendo Switches sitting around.
No, definitely.
Yeah, so
that's exactly what it is. And there's some pieces that you'll like, it's just, they don't really manufacture like tiny, like a tiny button or like, you know, it's like, it'll be tough to find. You'd have to order it off of, you know, AliExpress or something.
Oh
so,
yeah.
You know,
that's
so
some weird stuff on that AliExpress. It's, you know, I don't know what AliExpress, didn't that used to be Alibaba, and then like Temu used to be Wish. It's like everything just changes. It's the same thing. You know. Tacoma Comedy Club, Emerald City Comedy Club. No, definitely not the same. So yeah, man. So we're cleaning this up a little bit, and then the plans, I guess, is to maybe do some podcasts here, huh? Like you got 2 spaces.
Yeah. And not just podcasts, but also I want to shoot, you know, maybe even a short film here. There's a lot of different things that we could do in the space. We can set up different scenes, set up different tables. I was thinking about we could set up like a restaurant type, and even it could make it look like a restaurant. We can pretty much do anything. I do have 2 or 3 shows on the queue, concepts that I'm very excited about. So yeah, one is, you know, it's called Disconnected, which is going to be tech and AI based. It's just going to be talking a lot about AI and
so what is this going to be, like a podcast or a show? I mean, what's the idea of this?
So the idea is going to be like it's going to be like a talk show that I have where I just break down certain developments in the tech
technology
world. Yeah, and I'll take tech related headlines and I'll kind of dive into it and kind of you know show and kind of you know get my 2 cents on it. There's a lot of different there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of fear mongering when it comes to certain tech. And it's really hard to believe what's true or not. And it's not like I'm going to be a definitive this is true or this is not, but I'm just going to have, you know, an opinion based off of someone who works with this stuff pretty much every day. Not pretty much every day, every day.
Yeah.
You know, and how far it is and how far it has to go. Because a lot of people think like we're going to wake up tomorrow and robots are going to be roaming the streets. I mean, they've been saying that for such a long time, and it's like, where are all these robots? That they're supposed to. I mean,
I've seen a lot of clips, but I don't. They're not in.
Yeah.
They're at Disney. They're at Universal. That's what they're using the robots for.
Yeah.
They're
And, yeah. Exactly. And it's tough. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's like a lot of these. There are a lot of. There's like one or two factories that are automated. A lot of factories in China are automated mostly now, but the consumer end of robots, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they're actually replacing American workers, it's not as seamless as people think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they really think that. Okay, I've worked with machines too, and machines go down all the time.
Yep.
And it's just. You're still going to need some sort of oversight. Who's going to fix the machine when it gets down, huh? You're going to get another machine to fix that machine? It's like...
Exactly.
It's not going to be... I mean, what I do see happening is just more like... I would say like more things to help improve, supply chain type things. Like...
Yeah.
So like Amazon, I guess, has a lot of like robotic stuff that helps... with the sorting and all that, but it's not fully run by machines.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of automated fulfillment processes, and there's a lot of a buddy of mine. He's been in the robotics industry for quite some time, and there's a lot of robotics have been part of manufacturing for a long time, like a lot longer than a lot of people realize. What really is changing is white collar jobs. What really is changing is office jobs. What's really changing is software development. Software development is getting to the point where a lot of people are saying AI is going to take over a lot of software developing jobs, and that's where I see a lot of problems, especially for big tech.
Writing jobs, and and AI is actually a lot of people don't like it, and I understand. Like, I don't want AI to replace comedians or filmmakers or artists, but AI is really great in the sense of like for example, I told you my dog died, right? So they'd give me like a document that tells me all the stuff that's going on with her, and I'm like, I don't understand any of this, and I'll upload it to ChatGPT and say, explain this to me like an easy that anybody could understand it. And then they break it down. And it's like, oh my God, that no doctor has been able to explain her condition to me like this, Yeah. And then it's like, I've seen a couple people on Facebook like, hey, it's that time of the year. If anybody needs help with their press kit or their biography, hit me up. I'm pretty, I've done it for this person. And it's just like, man, that's tough. That's tough, because why would you even have somebody write it when it's like, okay, I can have AI write it. Yeah. And if it doesn't work, I can just have AI write it again and again until I get what I want out of it.
Yeah, until you.
So the writing jobs, I mean, dude, I've seen people using ChatGPT to create bills.
Yeah.
Like that they're going to submit to like Congress, like people in the like backyard bill writers,
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's pretty crazy.
No, that's why. That's why I think a lot of these companies, they're going to voluntarily shut down their AI, not because it's they're worried about it like I remember seeing tapping into like a parallel universe or something like that. It's because eventually AI will become so powerful, and the pay barriers, the paywall behind it is going to be smaller and smaller. It's going to start neutralizing the head start that they have. And it's going to start challenging the paradigm that a lot of these 1%ers, they used, the advantages they used to gain so much wealth and to hog so much information is going to be challenged by AI eventually. You know what I mean? Like eventually it will neutralize a lot of their advantages. And that's why they'll shut it down, or they want to have complete control of it. Yeah. Because the amount of things that a normal person can do with a decently trained AI, model these days is pretty cool.
Dude, I mean, like, you've seen some of the stuff I post. Like, I'm able to make cartoons of myself, out of that. I've seen people are posting like AI stock pics, like, hey, I just bought this stock today, and it's like, oh, geez, man, they're like, I don't, and it's hard to tell too with everything online whether it's true or not.
Yeah,
but
whether it's AI
so you
generated or not.
The plan is you got this idea for this technology type show. You have any other ones you want to talk about, or you just still under wraps?
No, I mean I can openly talk. I mean, because there's there's. I mean that's my main one. I'm gonna be talking because there's also other sides of the coin too, because there's like AI is also they're solving a lot of problems, but it's also creating problems that only other AI can solve. You know what I mean? Like we're eventually going to need an AI just to be able to confirm whether something is AI generated or not.
Yeah, I know. Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're gonna, but that's gonna be one big show. I do have my MMA show that I'll start punching down with my buddy Derek Glatson. What's up, motherfucker? That's gonna be, I really love talking about MMA, and I'm gonna start putting a lot of resources into that.
Yeah.
I'll have interviews with random comedians and people, even customers. I get so many interesting customers coming in, and it's just funny when I'll get like a lawyer and they're completely clueless about something that just seems like common sense to me.
Yeah.
But it's like once they start talking and they start talking about things that they're like an expert in, you're just like, holy shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is stuff that I should know, or this is, so it's just really fun. I'll just have different interviews with, from different people, different walks of life. And so yeah, different shows like that. It'll be fun.
And then sketches and short films, things like that.
Yep. I have this show called it's called Toxic, and it's a show. I have about 3 or 4 episodes written. It's just about me and my past toxic relationships, and
that sounds cool. Yeah.
It's kind of like a romantic comedy type of show. Kind of like a rom-com
mix
situation.
of comedy and drama.
Exactly.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Exactly. Which I've always wanted to make that.
Yeah. No, dude, that's good. I love, it's the reason I said I do this, the podcast. It's like going beyond just the stand-up. Like there's so many other opportunities and things that people are interested in. And, I have a couple things I'm working on. I want to do like a behind the scenes kind of series, and have an idea for like a Pawn Stars type thing. And I think I'm going to start filming that stuff soon. So then, in like the next couple months, like in the fall, I'll start releasing it every week, alongside the podcast. And that way it's more stuff for people to watch. And then, your friend Derek, he's got me on his podcast at the end of September. Might as well have something to promote since I'm there. But,
yeah.
But that's kind of that. And thanks for having me down here. If we're not that far from Tacoma Comedy Club, so I imagine, as time goes on and we start to get a little more clout as comedians, maybe we can invite some of those bigger name guys to come over here and chat. That would be the dream,
For 100%. Yeah, that's the dream, to set this up and just have a thriving content
creative space.
Yeah, exactly. And just and have people come in and help provide a space to nurture some of the ideas that you have, that I have, that some of my comedy friends have.
Jen Cooper, shout out, she was here.
Shout out to Jen Cooper. She brought some really awesome lights.
Yeah, great lights, man. Super professional. And she's also she's great comic, and she drives a long time too.
Yeah, and she's one of those people that is, no matter where it is, she's always driving really far, and she's always popping up, here and there, and you're like, holy shit, you drove 2 hours for this show? Like you're like, that's like that kind of commitment, I think, is definitely shows a lot.
Yeah, it's like me and her, pretty much the ones. Actually, there's a couple people that drive pretty far too. I know Jeremiah Hughes used to drive a lot farther. Now he's in Olympia, so it's still pretty far. But he was in Aberdeen for a while, and there's a couple guys that I know that are actually north of me. So I know a guy lives up in Mount Vernon that comes down sometimes, and yeah, it's pretty wild. It's like hour and a half to Seattle. I can only imagine how long it would take to get to Tacoma. So
Yeah, and then to travel that far for
plus we got
5
this
minutes.
freaking traffic and all the
Yeah.
freeways closed down and the accidents but hey man, it's Porch Fest. You're performing tonight, right?
Yeah,
So-
I'm performing tonight at
So at the Backyard Bar and Grill.
Yes, sir.
Bar ran by Tony Peters,
Yep.
comedian, local guy here, and he's Porch Fest. From my understanding, is a thing that's been going on in Tacoma every year for a long time, and they joined, and now it's the Comedy Porch. So
Yeah, I think they're doing some. I wasn't even aware that it was a thing, Porch Fest. I didn't know it was like a local event that happens every year. But yeah, it's cool that comedy is going to be a part of it. And I think technically Porch Fest is going to be over, but I will be at the Backyard Bar and Grill later tonight at 8. I think it starts at 8 p.m. And it's I think it's technically called the After the Fest shows. And then yeah, there's a on the mic production that's going to go on there. It starts at 8. And,
nice.
It's gonna be fun, man. I'm just gonna hang out and try some new stuff. And
speaking of them, man, I messed up. I don't think I messed up, but this is to show what kind of character I am. All right. So next month, I saw that you. Okay, let's rewind real quick because we just got a few minutes.
Yeah.
Some guy I used to work with at the garage door company hit me up randomly and said, "Hey, I know this guy in Puyallup,
yeah.
Puyallup, has a brewery and he wants to do comedy there. Can I give him your number?" I was like, "Sure, why not? I'll talk to him." Now, in the past, I had tried to set up like a show at a brewery up near where I live, and then the guy kind of backed out like a week later, and he's like, "Oh," no. I was like, "Okay, cool." So I got an email from this guy, and he was, and I was just thinking like, okay, last time I tried to set up a comedy show, the guy backed out. I said, I need to talk to somebody who does this, find out the right thing to say. Maybe I can just team up with them.
Yeah.
So I got a hold of a guy we both know, a guy named Narin Van, great comic.
Yeah.
Cambodian.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Asians. You know, man, I have found, I didn't know any Asian comics in the mainstream, when I started comedy. I think maybe Hans Kim was the only one. And now like half of my friends are Asian. Like,
Hell yeah.
I got you, Macy Yo, Brian Fukuda, Kevin Schwan,
Yeah, they can't hold us down, bro.
Yeah.
We're coming, bro.
Narin Van,
We're coming for it, dude.
There's some Filipinos out there too, but
We got
yeah.
it.
So I messaged him because he puts on a show at this place called Fierce County Cider, and I said, hey man, maybe you want to work on this. And then before I got a response from him, I went on Facebook, and then I saw that guy who emailed me also went on the Northwest Washington Facebook page and asked for if any comedians wanted to perform. So immediately he got like 50 replies from all these other comics and asking for info and this and that. And then I was like, I messaged Narn again. I was like, oh man, you know what? Sorry. I thought this guy messaged me privately. He just got hit up by a bunch of comics. It sounds like it's going to be really complicated.
Yeah.
And then he still wanted the guy's info, so I sent it to him.
Yeah.
And then he set up a show next month. So last night, or not last night, but the night before that, I went online and I signed up for open mic that I think you're going to be hosting. Is it at on Pearl, North End on Pearl? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you signed up for that? Hell yeah, dude.
So I signed up for that.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he's like, hey, do you want to do a show on this day at that place? And I was like, oh, man, I just signed up for this open mic. And then any normal person would be like, fuck that open mic. Just whatever, do the show.
Yeah.
But to me, I was just like, one, I don't know what this show is even going to be.
Yeah.
Two, I don't even know if I have the right material for a brewery. And three, I'm like, I just like to follow through with stuff that I do. I don't like to cancel stuff at all. So it's like, hey man, I'm just sorry. I'm just gonna, I ended up doing, I signed up for this open mic and I just feel weird about backing out of it. And so I was like, I blew that show. I lost the show, but I don't feel bad about it because Gonna be at your open mic. I still have a show at Tacoma next month, and then
Oh, yeah.
another Xavier Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Set me up with a show in Seattle, so
Yeah.
I can't complain, man. Can't
Yeah,
complain.
no, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, man, you can't. It's things fall through. People
Yeah.
are, people are, there's lots of different.
Comedy's weird, man. Like
Yeah.
in the beginning, I felt so weird about like signing up for TCC, and then like if I wasn't gonna make it, I'm not gonna be able to sign up for 2 months. And then literally every time I go there, half of the list isn't even there. They didn't even show up. you
Yeah,
know?
they don't even.
They're like, all right, on the count of 3, say F. They haven't really been doing that lately, but
Yeah.
they did it. They did it the other night. So
Yeah. No, it's just about, I guess carving your own lane and finding people, that we're all just chance meeting,
Yeah.
like that's, sometimes things will fall through and then there's a reason that it fell through and then it turns out, you know what I mean? It was good that it did fall through, or maybe another opportunity comes around out of it. I did notice you're getting, busier, and which is cool, man. It's
hey, man, I'm just trying out there. It's very frustrating because, like I said earlier, sometimes I don't feel like a real comic because I still haven't had like a real like booking at a real club. Like I'll send my videos and my info.
But
I haven't
you are
really
on a paid show at Tacoma Comedy Club.
I am, yes. I guess kind of, yes.
Yeah.
I feel it didn't come through the club.
Yeah.
It came through somebody who is on the show, but still, I mean, I feel appreciative of it. But I think it's kind of more like I want to get recognized by like whoever decides like you're the person I want to host this show. That's ultimately what my goal would be. Like I'd love to do what some of our friends are doing, hosting for Big J Okerson or or Ian Finance or whatever, those kind of guys. But
yeah,
it'll come as long as I keep doing this and be nice to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't get a lot of those opportunities either. So you just gotta maximize the opportunities that you do get.
That's why we're doing the online stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're doing making content, and there's different paths for everyone.
Yeah.
And,
oh yeah, absolutely.
And
man.
there is definitely like this main group of people that you want to get close with, especially in Tacoma, because Tacoma's a big regional club, and it gets big national headliners, and you'll have people, you'll get people you'll get people. But the one thing that I'll remember is like you'll see some of these comedians that are our friends, and they're getting these big opportunities, and then they're still there at the open mic the next day. You know what I mean? Or they're still
it's not it's an opportunity, but it doesn't necessarily lead to anything directly. It's kind of more like, what are you going to do with this opportunity?
Yeah.
And so that would be,
I guess,
the next step. I guess after once it happens.
Yeah, I guess you just gotta clarify with yourself, like, what is it gonna take for me to feel like a real comedian?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like a real comedian, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Just like you were saying, but lately I've just been carrying myself, especially since I've gotten sober.
Yeah.
I've been, and I'm getting this place cleaned up, and I just feel like I'm taking it more seriously, and therefore I feel more like a legitimate, comedian.
For sure.
And I think that's a big deal of it. You know what I mean? Is how you carry yourself and how you approach these shows and other comedians and other bookers. And for me, that's what makes me feel like just the other day when I did the podcast.
Great open mic heroes. Great episode.
Yeah, open mic. I filled in for a buddy of mine, Caleb Romero, for a podcast, and after I left and I was driving home from that podcast, I was like, I'm already doing what I want to do. I'm just hanging out with friends, having
Yeah.
fun. I had so much fun doing that podcast.
Yeah, man. I was playing Minecraft listening to it. yeah.
Hell yeah. And that it just hit me. I was like, I'm already doing everything I want to do, and I'm having fun, and that's enough for me. You know, that's what I mean. Obviously, there is a part of me that I want to sell out shows. I want to eventually get to the stadiums and sell out the big stadiums, and you know, I want people to be like, oh, I love how funny you. I want people to come up. You know what I mean? I want people to be. Everybody, you know, deep down, kind of wants that in a way. I think, and but I am satisfied in I'm already doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, and you know what, man? And if I really truly think about it, I am too. I mean, like, I've been in front of audiences. I've made them laugh. They made me feel good. You know, like, it's just once it happens once, it's like a drug, man. You just want more. You want more audience, and it's like, and it's when you're on the open mic level, you know, because we know people that never really go to the open mics because they're just always doing shows.
Yeah.
But on the open mic level, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. I just got distracted by those people walking by. But yeah, no, it's definitely it can be a struggle, but it's once you get those audiences, it's like, dude, this is everything. This is everything that I've been waiting for. So every once in a while, you know, you'll get a full room at like Six and Proctor, and it's almost as good as doing a show.
Oh yeah.
You just wish that the set was longer. That's all.
Exactly, and you wish your name was some, you know what I mean, like on the. But yeah, dude, I keep pushing, man, and
yeah, I mean, I think the goal is, I mean, and I encourage everybody. I mean, I started that Seattle podcast Instagram just to bring everything together. It's like, if you like Steven's podcast, you might like Jeremiah's podcast. If you like Jeremiah's, you might like Jess Anderson's podcast. You know, like, and you know, it's every you just never know like what's gonna hit. And I mean, everybody was discovered by another person. You know, like I was listening to Tim Dillon earlier. Tim Dillon got discovered because of some tweet that he did on Twitter, and Joe Rogan liked it. You know, Shane Gillis. You know, Shane Gillis was gonna be on SNL, and then he said some racist thing on a podcast years before and got canceled, and then it ended up working out even better for him. You know, and then you know, so.
It's like playing the lottery.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like playing the lottery, but at least.
But it's like, even then, we still win a little bit every time. You know, like it's like every time we do an open mic, I at least win $1.
Yeah.
Sometimes I win 5. Sometimes I win 10.
Yeah.
I think once or twice I won 20. You know, but yeah, I would. Either way, man, I'm excited. You got any more comedy stuff planned coming up? I know I said you're hosting open mic. You're doing some on the mic.
Yeah,
on the mic stuff.
The North End out on Pearl show is now part of the on the mic.
Oh, and Casey McLean is gonna be there. That's the other reason why. That's the only reason I wanted to go.
Yeah,
I want to see Casey up close and personal in an open mic setting.
Yeah,
you know?
and a bar show.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
No, yeah, we're teamed up with On the Mic, which I'm super excited about.
Kylie Nelson.
Yeah,
right?
Kylie Ann. Yeah,
Kylie Ann. And then who else is in that? Is Jason Katz part of that?
I think so. I think he helps her, and she's got like 6 or 7 rooms across, which is really
she's doing
awesome.
a lot of stuff. The same stuff that like Allison Fine was doing 2 years ago. She's doing now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and I'm thankful for her. I'm thankful for her. You know, getting those spots.
There's also shows.
If you ever want to come back up to Seattle, I mean, I remember you did the Shanghai that one week. You know, there's a guy named Chris Talbot, and I'll give you his Instagram, but he puts on a lot of competitions.
Okay.
And they're basically like open mics with money. Basically, at the end of the night, everybody votes, and then they get the money, and then a feature spot like the next time. I think Sherry Hardman might do something similar to that too. In Auburn. I think I did a couple of hers like that. So, but Chris has got some really good audiences, man. Like I did a show or a spot at his competition in Fremont, full room, great set. I posted that set on Reddit and it got 14,000 views. I was like,
Oh,
damn.
shit.
And then he's moved on to a new place called Old Stove Brewing. And I
Interesting.
swear to God, man, it looks like a theater. Like it's that big inside.
Oh,
So,
wow.
he seems to be like, I don't know him very well. I've only done his thing once, but just like Kylie with the on the mic stuff, he's doing it very easy for you to sign up online, post in ahead of time, making
Yeah.
some money, getting some audiences. And I mean, dude, I
Yeah.
can't, when you're struggling with the comedy clubs, those kind of things, they definitely help out. So
Yeah, they definitely help out. But I'm super excited. I'll definitely check out. I gotta check out more of the Seattle scene, and
Yeah.
and I'm definitely gonna be up there a lot more often. So
and I'll be in Tacoma more often. So
hell yeah.
we'll make it work. And then and then big plans. You know, we're gonna get this podcast thing set up, and then once I'm gonna get mine up in my place, and we'll have a north studio, a south studio, and
Yeah, it'll
all
be
sorts
sick.
of stuff.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, shoot, man, been doing this a little over an hour now, and
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sure my wife wants her Panda Express before it gets too late. You got your spot tonight, but yeah, man, thanks again for having me out. Easy Gadget Repair. If you guys have some tech stuff that needs to be fixed, this guy knows what to do.
Yeah.
What do you think people should, if people want to? What kind of problems do people have they bring to you? Is like broken screens,
Yeah, I
video
get-
games, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I get like broken screens. I get a lot of PlayStations, a lot of
Yeah.
Xboxes, a lot of broken HDMI ports. So if you have anything, it requires micro soldering, so it's a little bit more of a technical repair that a lot of places won't have someone that can actually do that. So I do all of that in house. And I do pretty much all around general electronic repair. So yeah, it's Easy Gadget Repair in Lakewood, Tacoma, right on the edge on South Tacoma Way, and
we're close to the Backyard Bar and Grill. We're close
Yeah.
to Nate Jackson's. We're close to TCC.
Yep.
Oh man, I might be going to Nate's next Tuesday actually. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, watch Nate's special too. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
on,
support the local stars here.
Yeah.
Maybe one day they'll give us a spot. You know. So
I know, right?
I don't know, man. Anything else you want to say before we head out? All right.
I'm good, man.
Well, hey, man. Thanks for everybody for watching. Follow Xavier. Check out On the Mic Comedy. Sam's Open Mic on Thursdays, and get ready for a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Comedy Simp, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist. Spitting fire.